Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Jedi Knights Watch. My name is Graham, and today we're going to be doing another Hot Toys unboxing and review. Today's figure is going to be the Chrome Mandalorian and Grogu Deluxe from Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Before we get going, why don't you do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and ring the bell so you don't miss any new content or live streams coming your way. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram posting pictures of new figures, of the collection, and stuff like that. So come by and be a part of the community. This is a figure that I actually was able to get from another collector. Man of Hot Collectibles gave me a good deal on it, so thank you very much, Dante. I do appreciate it, and I'm super excited. I was thinking about getting the non-deluxe because I was like, well, I don't really need all that baggage stuff that comes with. I don't know if I'm going to pose him with it, but I couldn't pass up the deal. So I got the deluxe, and I'm really happy with it. I'm really looking forward to comparing this with the Beskar 1.0 version because that's the one I currently have right now. And if this one meets expectations, then this will replace that one in the collection. I'm really super excited to see the head sculpt. So yeah, can't wait to do this video with you guys. But taking a look quickly at the art box, it's the typical Star Wars art box with the cigar band on the bottom there, and it's got the image of the Mandalorian without his helmet on, the Pedro Pascal head sculpt, and we do have an image of the actual figure on the front, and you can already see some of that weathering that some people were having a problem with initially. I don't know if it's something that I'll really care about, but I think people were saying, well, it's Beskar, so it really should be 100% clean. It shouldn't be, there should be no rust or dirt and grime. It should just be 100% clean. But I think I might like it like this. It might just give it a little bit more depth, more of like a wash, and more, might just add to the realism of the figure itself. So again, we do have TMS-052, the Mandalorian and Grogu. This is the 1/6 scale collectible figure, and once we get it on the table, we just have a slip cover, which we'll remove, and then once we do that, we get a look at the image of the Mandalorian carrying all of that baggage stuff. That stuff looks really cool. I gotta say, I might just pose it with all that stuff on because it does look really, really cool, and we'll look at it a little bit further here. But once we just kind of work to get the figure out of the clamshell packaging, I do wish this was like a DX with all the stuff you get. Would have been so cool if it was in that awesome premium packaging with the foam inserts and all that, but he comes packed to the 9 with all this stuff. A lot of stuff you've gotten with previous figures, but a lot of new stuff as well. So I'm really, really excited. You can just see that chrome just shining in the light. He looks really good, really super realistic. That head sculpt looks good at first glance too. But before we get to that, let's take a look at the base and the accessories. Starting off with the base, this is probably one of the biggest letdowns of the figure itself. It is that typical sand base with the 2 footprints. I actually noticed something for the first time. There's a 3rd footprint in the back. I never caught that before, but comes with the silver Star Wars Mandalorian nameplate and then a normal crotch grabber. I think the Beskar 1.0 actually has a dynamic flight pole because they wanted you to be able to have him flying with his jetpack and stuff like that. So this is a letdown. I wish they would have tried something new. They've recycled this base so many times that it is a little bit frustrating. Now for some of the things that come with our Mandalorian set here. We're going to get into a lot of the accessories. After that, we'll take a look at the probably the Grogu figure a little bit more in detail and compare him to the past Grogu that we've got. But he comes with, a bunch of hands, which is good. And the hands are going to be pretty much the same, if not the exact same as previous versions. But I do like the detail on the plates there, like just that worn and that paint missing and stuff like that. And then this cool piece here is the new Grogu, and he comes in the like the satchel. I really like that a lot. I'm gonna for sure use that. We got the jetpack, which is going to be the exact same as the previous one, but it is going to be chromed out, so it's going to have definitely a lot more shine to it. And then on the bottom there too, it does have like a little loop, and that's how you can like hook it to the deluxe carrying stuff. So another really awesome thing is that he comes with the dark saber, and you can pull this out and then you just put the blade in. So it's pretty cool. It's one dark saber, but you can have it with the blade on or with it off, and I really love this. I love the gloss to it, the shine. You got the little lightning strikes going on there. It looks super cool. This is one of my favorite new accessories, and it comes with the Beskar spear, which it's not as chrome as like you can see comparing it to the jetpack, but it's more of like a silver paint. Kind of would blend in really well with the 1.0. And then we do have his rifle. It's going to be pretty much the same. The paint might be a little bit different. I love the stock on the back, just that wood grain going on. Looks really awesome. It does have some moving parts as well. You can kind of, if I can figure it out here, you can open this part, yep, and then close it back up. The scope can be detached if you want to have him like holding it. So then that just plugs right back in. And then towards the end of it, you kind of see some heat treatment going on, some different colorations from it, kind of using the blast effect. So that's really, really cool detail there too. Then we have the flame effect. This is also another one that I've loved from the previous version. And the flame just looks super realistic. I love how it also kind of gradients the color and it changes to that flame. So that's a really cool piece. And then we go to one of my least favorite pieces, and it's the grapple. Very fragile, so just be careful with that. Then we have the whistling birds effect here, and this looks really cool. I did not have this with the previous version. I love the smoke effect, and then you kind of got the chrome tips on the ends there. That's another cool one that I might have to put in a pose at some point. I do like this a lot, and it is something new to me. Something that's old and we've seen before is the pistol, but it's really well done. It's got some nice dry brushing to it. It's got like the wear and tear. It's got some paint chips in it. It's got like a spackle to it just to make the metal look more realistic. We also have a small detonator, and this is from episode 1 of season 2. It's like a detonator that they used on that huge, I can't remember what, crate dragon or something like that. I think that's what it was called. And then we have the torch and the flashlight that goes on the side of Mando's helmet if you do want. Just be careful. Some of these pieces are super small, so I'd hate for you guys to lose them. And then the blade too is really cool. I like how the handle just, again, missing paint. It looks like it's been used a lot. He's gripped it a lot, and you know, it's not brand new and it looks real. So that's really, really cool. And then we do have this piece here, which you could attach to Mando and just put the spear in as well, so he can be carrying that. But that is all of the accessories that he comes with. A lot of good stuff here. A lot of stuff that you can put into some great poses. So let's go and grab that Grogu, and now let's just compare him to the Beskar 1.0. And on the right side is going to be the new one that comes with the Chrome Mando, and on the left side is the one that came with the Beskar 1.0. One thing I like is that they changed it up a little bit, so it isn't the exact same Grogu, because we have so many Grogus that it can be a little bit nauseating at times. But the old one does have a little bit of tilt and swivel in the head, but this one feels like it has a lot more. The head can kind of go up and down a lot more, and then it does have that same swivel. Something that I think Hot Toys missed the mark on, and I know they're doing it with the Ahsoka figure, is a fully articulating Grogu would have been great. It kind of gets sickening having him in that same pose. But now going to the Pedro Pascal head sculpt, I like this a lot. I love the hair. I love how we have like the messy hair in the back and how it's just not 100% perfect. The hair looks like it's an actual separate sculpt, because it kind of, you can see it's got some space between the forehead and the hair itself, but at certain angles, like right there, 100% Pedro Pascal. Other angles, maybe not as much, but I'm a real big fan of the facial expression, because when he took the helmet off, you could see the anxiety in him and the stress. You know, he was doing something that he shouldn't have, so I'm a big fan of that. Getting the figure out on the table here for the first time, he looks awesome. We got the lights shining down. You can just see how that chrome sparkles. He's got really awesome armor. The body looks great. Doesn't look like the fat suit is too big as well. Going up to the top, you can just see some of that speckle and some of that, you know, it almost looks like pitting in the armor. I don't know if they just tried to give it that extra detail, that depth, but I like it. I don't mind it. I know some people have wiped it all off with whatever contraption they're using, but I kind of like how it just gives it a little bit more character. And then you can see too on the thighs, he's got like a different plate than he does from the other version. Even that abdomen plate is different. Comes with a wired cape, and there's a lot different pieces here in the wire cape as well. The boots are pretty much going to be the same, but on his left knee, he comes with like an extra, like a knee weapon. It looks like it could fire out like kind of what Boba Fett had, where it like maybe fires out some missiles. But all of these these pieces of ammo here for his rifle, they can be removed. So just be careful that you don't lose any of those over time. But that blue piece there is new, and you can kind of see as we compare the 1.0 on the left with the 2.0 on the right one definitely shines a lot more. I think one thing I would have liked them to see was maybe put like a magnetic piece where the rifle attaches to the strap on the shoulder. I just worry about that pin breaking over time. I haven't had it happen yet, but I could see it happening to a lot of people out there. He does come with a different thigh plate, as you can see. Then that abdomen area is different as well. It's got like more detail to it. It doesn't look as flat as the one on the left. You can just see the difference right there. But I like this one a lot better because it just stands out a lot more compared to this one. I think it's got more depth in the armor. The armor looks more realistic. And when he's on the show, he definitely had a lot of shine. So I think that this new chrome one is definitely an upgrade from the 1.0. And again, you can just kind of see the difference in the legs and in the armor as well. Going and flipping these guys around, you can see the cape is actually a lot different. I was not aware of that, but there's 2 vertical wires running down, and then I believe there is a horizontal wire at the bottom. So it is going to be fully posable, and you can just see how tattered the one on the right is compared to the one on the left. I didn't even know that the one on the left was like that perfect, if you will. But and then getting a figure in hand just for a little bit closer look at some of these details, you can see the armor just shining in all directions of the light. Looks really, really cool. You can see this pinhole right here. That's where the rifle would attach. Kind of what I was talking about, which I wish it was more of like a magnet. Over here is where you could put the detonator. And then here's this piece that's a lot different from the old one. The pouches are going to be sculpted, and all the plates are going to be Velcroed on. You can see the sigil on the right shoulder there. Looks super, super awesome. There's the whistling birds contraption right there. And yeah, I think the suit color, like the actual jumpsuit, might be a little bit different too, like color-wise. It might be more gray than brown. The holster is the same holster that we've gotten in the past. It's really hard to slide that little piece in there, but once you get it, it's not too bad. Here's the magnetic strap that holds the rifle in place, and you can see he does have some backplate armor as well. That it's nice that they add that because you don't typically see it with the cape, but again, Hot Toys has that attention to detail. Split cut boot design, really nice. And then here's this free floating contraption on the knee that was not there with previous versions. Flipping them around, you can just kind of see all of the detail on the back. And the cape, again, is fully wired. There's this hole, so you can slip through that magnetic piece, and then it'll hold the rifle in place. But going to the articulation, definitely a lot of good movement in the head. Arms, you know, the fat suit might still hinder it a little bit. You know, you can't quite get to that 90, but there is a double bend in the elbow, so that is great. Should be no excuse for figures not having a double bend. And then a swivel in the arm and in the wrist. Not a whole lot of crunch in the abdomen. And then the legs, you know, about 45 degrees. He does have some split abilities and a double bend there in the knee as well. He can go up a little bit further there, I think. But, yep, there we go. And then a little bit of swivel there in the boot. Again, it's going to be split cut. So he's got rocking ability and swivel, actually. And there is swivel in the thigh as well. All right, I'm just going to quickly show you guys how to swap the head. It's super easy. So he's got this like turtleneck thing going on. This whole piece of the Mando helmet pops off, and then you just got to carefully kind of fit the Pedro Pascal head sculpt and give it a little bit of force just to kind of make sure you hear that snap into position. And then when you get him in, that's the look of our Mando without his helmet on. And doesn't he look great? I'm so stoked that they gave us this head sculpt. It is just a really cool addition. And the other cool part of having this head sculpt is it does fit with the Transport Trooper, which is why I got that figure. I wanted these two to be like companion pieces. And here you can see just how good he looks as the Transport Trooper. This is how I'm going to display my Pedro Pascal head sculpt on the Transport Trooper. Now let's take a look at the deluxe stuff that comes with it. So he's holding the swoop bike like handlebar, and the wrapping around it is actually going to be sculpted. Here you can see awesome Grogu in the satchel there. I just love how he's just kind of carrying all this stuff. The Boba Fett helmet looks amazing. It's got more, I feel like it has more detail than the Bird Poop Mando, and on the inside too, it's fully sculpted, you know, all the detail there, but so much more paint chips and paint missing than I even feel like the other Boba Fett has. These soft goods are actually going to be like foam inside, so they're going to have some squish to them. Then you can see where we attach the rocket pack to the bottom there. We have the Boba Fett rocket pack too. Looks really, really good. I just love how it looks old and just beat up and worn. But then you can see we just kind of loop them on. You can the directions tell you how to do this, but you can like double loop them on, and then you just kind of have Mando holding them, and it's just so much cool stuff. It's a great way to display the figure, and it just adds a lot of like uniqueness, I think, to it as well. All right, well, let's get them into some poses now and talk about some of the things that I like about the figure and some things not so much. Starting with the things that I really like, it's the chrome. That chrome looks amazing. I love how it looks on the shelf. I love how the light bounces off of it. It just looks more screen accurate to Mando because he definitely has a lot of shine in the TV show. The second thing that I really like is that they gave us this head sculpt and that it works with the transport trooper. I'm not sure if they meant to do that or if it was just coincidence, but the fact that you can put it on a different figure like the transport trooper that had such a meaningful moment in the show is amazing. And the third thing that I really like is just the detail on the deluxe accessories. Like the Boba Fett helmet and jetpack, they look amazing. They are super detailed. It's a piece that you just really, really want to show off. And the fourth thing, I'm going to give you a fourth thing that I really like, is the pouch that comes with to put Grogu in. It's a simple thing, but for some reason, it is something that I've wanted for a long time. I want to pose my Mando with him holding Grogu in the satchel. I don't know, something about it just looks so cool. Now for some things that I didn't like so much. The first would be that Grogu isn't articulated. Sure, he's got more swivel in the neck and a little bit more movement, but the body is still a statue. The new Ahsoka is fully functional, so I wish this was the same. The second thing that I don't like about the figure is the fact that they recycled that sand base for a millionth time. I'm just tired of it. It's hard to pose on unless you have the feet in those exact positions. It would have been nice if they went out on a limb and actually gave us a different base. And then the third thing isn't really something I don't like. It's more of just a wish list thing. I wish this would have been a DX with all the cool stuff that we get. It just would have been cool to see this as like a in DX presentation with the art box and whatnot. But that's not like a knock on the figure or anything. So outside of that, I think this is worth upgrading if you do have the 1.0. I think this thing is top notch. Look at all the stuff you get. It is an amazing figure. So if you're on the fence, definitely get off and go get this figure. He is in stock at Sideshow right now. Let me know what you guys think of the video. Comment if you have this figure and what your thoughts are. Do you like him better than the 1.0? Do you like him better than Durasteel Mando? I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.